Today, we're diving into Palantir Technologies, ticker PLTR, a stock that's got retail investors buzzing with excitement and a bit of nervous energy. If you're holding Palantir or eyeing it, you're probably feeling the pulse of this AI powerhouse. Let's cut through the noise and analyze what's happened in the last 24 hours. Welcome to Stock Hub, your go-to place for the latest stock market news, analysis, and insights. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's dive in. The latest stock price, major news, retail sentiment on X, short interest, options activity, and what analysts are saying. This is for you, the retail investor who emotionally invested in Palantir journey. No fluff, no financial advice, just the facts delivered with confidence. Let's get into it. First up, the stock price. As of the latest data within the last 24 hours, Palantir is trading at approximately $123 per share. Over the past day, the stock saw a slight uptick of about 1.14% in overnight trading, according to posts on X. It's not a massive spike, but it's enough to keep the momentum alive after a recent fade into the close on Friday. Traders are watching the 120 to 125 range closely as it's acting like a battleground. Some are calling it a potential support zone, while others see it as a make-or-break level for the next move. The stock's been volatile, and this small gain is keeping the bulls hopeful but cautious. What's driving this action? Let's talk news and events from the past 24 hours. The biggest headline is insider selling, and it's got everyone talking. A post on X from Finbold highlighted that Palantir executives, including CEO Alex Karp, offloaded a whopping $124 million in stock. Karp alone sold $50.4 million worth, with other execs like Cohen, Sankar, and Glazer contributing to the total. This kind of selling can make retail investors nervous, but the market's reaction has been muted so far, with that 1.14% overnight gain suggesting investors are brushing it off for now. Some X users speculate this could signal the end of a selling wave, potentially clearing the way for upward momentum. Insider selling doesn't always mean a lack of confidence. It could be personal financial planning or taking profits after a 55% year-to-date surge. Still, it's a red flag to monitor. On the positive side, Palantir's business momentum is making waves. A post from Get Borderless on X pointed to recent wins: a $795 million U.S. Army contract for Battlefield AI, NATO adopting Palantir's mission software suite, and a $30 million deal with ICE for Immigration OS. These contracts reinforce Palantir's role as a go-to AI platform for government and defense, which is a huge driver for retail enthusiasm. No new earnings or financial reports dropped in the last 24 hours, but the company's recent Q1 performance, $884 million in revenue, up 39% year over year, and beating estimates, continues to fuel the narrative that Palantir is on fire, as Karp put it. Now let's get to the retail sentiment on X, where Palantir is a hot topic. The vibe over the last 24 hours is a mix of cautious optimism and technical excitement. A post from InvestXOS noted that Palantir had a shot at a blast-off candle on Friday but faded into the close. They highlighted a dramatic technical shift, with the 5-day moving average crossing the 10-day moving average in just 4 sessions, a bullish golden cross signal. Another user, Salyers Eric, echoed this, pointing to a weekly cup and handle pattern forming, with RSI and MACD indicators looking coiled for a potential breakout. However, GoNGo8 called the stock oversold, but in a holding pattern, waiting for broader market cues, possibly tied to NVIDIA's performance. The sentiment leans bullish, with retail investors hyped about AI contracts and technicals, but there's a cautious undertone due to the insider selling and high valuation concerns, PE over 600, as noted by Grok. On Reddit, sentiment is tougher to pin down in the last 24 hours, but our Wall Street bets and our Palantir likely mirror X's mix of to-the-moon memes and debates about whether the stock's priced for perfection. What about the bears? Short interest data specific to the last 24 hours is scarce, but recent trends suggest it's elevated, with some estimates from earlier this month pegging it at around 6% of the float, double the S&P 500 average. This high short interest could set the stage for a squeeze if positive catalysts, like more contract wins, push the stock higher. No fresh short interest numbers dropped today, But the lack of a sharp price drop despite insider selling suggests shorts aren't in full control yet. Options activity is heating up, though. X-posts hint at unusual call buying in the $130 to $140 strike range for near-term expirations, signaling some traders are betting on a breakout. There's also put activity at lower strikes, likely hedges or bearish bets, showing the market's split on Palantir's next move. This tug-of-war in options keeps the stock's volatility front and center. As for analysts and institutional investors, no major ratings changes or price target updates surfaced in the last 24 hours. However, the broader analyst sentiment remains mixed. Recent reports from Citigroup, Loop Capital, and D.A. Davidson set an average price target of $120, slightly below the $123, implying a modest downside. Wedbush's Dan Ives is a vocal bull, calling Palantir a generational AI name, while others like Wolf Research have lower targets, citing valuation concerns. Institutional activity shows some big players trimming positions after the stock's run, but others are still buying, drawn by Palantir's low float and AI growth story. A post from Vladimir Wealth on X warned that institutional discipline is required at this altitude, suggesting smart money is cautious despite retail hype. Let's wrap this up. Palantir is sitting at $123 with a 1.14% overnight gain, holding a critical $120-$125 zone. Insider selling of $124 million is raising eyebrows, but new contracts with the U.S. Army, NATO, and ICE are keeping the bulls charged. Retail sentiment on X is optimistic, with technical signals like golden crosses and cup and handle patterns fueling dreams of a breakout, though some are wary of the lofty PE and market dependency on stocks like Nvidia. Short interest and options activity point to a stock primed for volatility. Either a squeeze or a pullback could be on the horizon. Analysts are split, with bulls loving the AI narrative and bears questioning the price tag. For you retail investors, Palantir's story is as compelling as ever, but it's not without risks. Thanks for watching Stock Hub. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.